And we're live with the Chester Sky Show. Today's guest is Sappho, singer, teacher, extraordinary music video, 360 VR experience. You got the whole package going on.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. Heck yeah. I'm very excited to be here.
How is, tell me about this time machine. Tell me about this new album that you've come out with recently.
My time machine.
Yes, your time machine.
Well, it's a sci-pop album. I'm trying to coin that and make it a thing. It's not quite geek rock because it's more like if Doctor Who wrote Betty Who's lyrics. You know, we've worked on songs together. It's got more of a pop dance, like electronic sensibility, but with the nerdy references of geek rock. So it's all about like time travel, substrate independent minds, nerd shit. I sent my song Saved, which is about mind uploading, to the scientist whose research I based it off of, and he said it was accurate. So that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about my songs. And yeah, it's available everywhere now. Yay!
What did you tell the guy?
I think I got obsessed with his research, wrote a song about it, fully forgot he existed for a year and a half, then released the song, Googled the same thing again with no memory that I was ever there before, discovered the research again, and was like, oh shit, this research is just like my song, as if it was my original idea. And then I noticed, wait, I've been to the webpage before and had that deja vu moment and just found him on Facebook, and it turned out it was really easy.
So what is the mind uploading though? I'm not sure. I don't know too much about that. What is that?
So I'm talking about my song Saved. It is kind of like, honestly, a country gospel song, but for people who aren't very religious, about if you don't believe in an afterlife, wouldn't it be cool if we could create one? Do you watch Black Mirror?
I do. I love Black Mirror.
You know the episode with the lesbians?
Oh, the 70s one. The one in the...
Yeah. Yes. Ooh, heaven is a place.
Yes,
heaven is a place on earth. One. San Junipero. Yes. It's basically if that episode was a musical. So just writing about like, wouldn't it be cool if we could create some kind of heaven for ourselves? And if you could upload your mind to some sort of cloud world like that and be free of your body forever, would you do it? That's a real question. Would you do it?
Well, I guess if one of those things is how good is that world? I guess you can make it whatever you want, but how do you know that you'll enjoy it just because you made it? That's the thing. Like you can make it, you say, I think I like this food and I think I like these people. And then you go there and you're like, I'm not sure if what I thought was good is actually what I want to spend the time doing.
Oh, 100%. Like, are we imagining right now that we created the world that we get to sort of experience this afterlife in? Like that it's our heaven that we made up? Or are we imagining that it's like some company has come out with this upload to the heaven thing? And we have
We're already in your simulation right now.
Yeah, we've all been here the whole time.
Yeah, we're just discussing about being in the thing that we're already in. Yes.
Man, it's so funny.
I think the problem with that is you don't really get surprised because you created it. Unless you're just like, here's the general variable and then something will fill in automatically maybe.
Yeah, that would be cool to have some sort of... If you like that, maybe you'll like this thing to offer you options. So you can just be more like, yes, no.
Here's your Netflix recommendation.
Yeah, I don't know if I want the whole burden of making an entire world all on me right now.
But you might be wrong. Right?
Yeah, totally. I don't know. Maybe we'd make something amazing. Yeah.
What would yours be like? Would it just be time machines flying over, music singing? And
Well, honestly, yeah, it would totally be that. But I feel like I would create my own personal hell 100%. Like it would end up being some kind of Twilight Zone self-sabotage thing, you know? Like I'd make some kind of inane, childish wish. Like, oh, I want to be a freaking pop star. I'm going to be a pop star. Yeah. And then end up probably killing myself like next year. Like I'm about to turn 27. So TikTok, like if I actually got, I don't know, fame or fortune or any of those like juvenile wishes, I think it would be like the destruction of my personal life and it wouldn't be worth it. And then I'd die alone really young, something like that. Which I don't know how that would be possible, but I know I'd find a way to make it possible.
Did you see the movie Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise?
No, not yet. What's up with that?
Okay, that's exactly what you just described. So you go watch that movie. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh. I know we're both very busy people, but it would be cute to do like a YouTube channel where we just watch movies and discuss it. Wait, maybe I'm just inventing the concept of like a book club. We should have like.
No, I think that's totally valid. Why not? There could be
Yeah.
online book clubs and online video clubs where you just talk about it. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Why not?
Yeah. Wait, what's it called again?
Vanilla Sky.
I'm gonna write that down.
Go watch that movie, and I won't tell you because there's a lot of stuff going on that's pretty incredible in that movie.
Nice.
But yes.
Yeah. What do you think that your sort of upload your mind to the afterlife world would look like? What would you do if you could make the world, but then you have to live in it?
Well, did you see the movie Ready Player One?
Oh yeah.
Like, I think that would be great. Where you can just exist in whatever video game that you want to play at that moment. And you're like, I'm going to go live in Mario for a while. And then you just hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have outside content to make your world good. Like in some way, there has to be other people there.
Yeah.
Or at least other people's ideas to make it a quality place to live.
Yeah, you still want something just to, you would still want new ideas. You get bored if it was the same thing every time.
Yeah, totally. I already drive myself crazy. In reality, I can't even imagine how badly I would screw myself over if I was given license to control everything around me. Yeah.
You're Bruce Almighty.
Ready Player One, though. Yes. Yeah, totally. Some people just shouldn't have that level of power. Yeah.
Tell me about what it's like actually creating these 360 things, because I think this is something that I've always been curious about. And
it's hard. You need a lot of RAM to do it.
A lot of RAM to do it.
Yeah. So I released my first 360 music video, Get My Shit Together. Am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
Yeah, you can say anything. You can just talk about how much you hate things.
What the song is called. Oh, awesome. Well, I sure hated making this music video because it was so hard. No, it was really fun. It was totally worth it.
You made a few though.
But but for my first one, we were trying to do something really ambitious. I created all the visuals in Tilt Brush, which is, as you probably know, the virtual reality program where you paint and draw things, like you sculpt in VR with your controllers. It is so awesome. It's so cool. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to make VR with VR, like to have an experience that you view in virtual reality that I also made mostly in virtual reality.
Yeah.
So I made this world, and then exporting it was basically impossible because why would anyone need to do that? We were the only ones who wanted to do this. And we kind of learned the lesson about like, maybe we're the first to do it because it's really hard and not worth it. And definitely the part of the video that people like the best and that people respond to is the part with no graphics in it that we did all as a live action, just party I had at my house. I wish I'd known you then. I would have invited you to be in the music video for sure.
I remember that. I remember seeing it because I was in some kind of conference and they were showing your music video with Oculus headsets.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, you got to watch it in VR or it's just not good. That's what I learned about I really Icarused it. We really went too close to the sun on that one. But I think that as long as you either keep it fully live action or fully animated, you're going to be fine. My other music video, Go Getter, I filmed it with a 360 camera, but then I sort of flattened that 360 world out like with a rolling pin. So it's all these sort of spherical. Have you seen that one?
I saw clips of it. Yeah. You kind of traveling on a boat at some point and you're on airplanes and going around the world.
Yeah, totally. So it's just like, imagine a fisheye lens. Now imagine it went around the whole way. That one was very fun. That was really fun to do, easy to edit. Totally just not traumatizing as a creative process. And I think the best part of it was that I was sort of just filming passively everywhere I went for a really long time. Like I just kind of took my 360 camera everywhere on my little monopod. So that video was filmed in 3 provinces back in the before times when we could go places.
It sounds like that would be just, you could take it anywhere and it would still make a good video.
Yeah, totally. Like I was just going to the randomest places. But with the camera I was using, it definitely works best like outdoors and bright lighting. I'm using the Insta360, very similar to a GoPro. Like have you seen those like skateboard videos where people are doing crazy tricks and then the camera does something insane and it's like, how did the camera guy do it? It's because they did it after, you know? Like if you film all the way around, then your camera guy can be whatever you've pointed at after the fact, you know? Shoot first, point after is what we say.
Oh, I never thought of doing that. So they record 360, but then they only like take one angle in the end.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really yeah, that shit is super fun to do. I love that.
That explains so much.
This looks so cool. Right? Yeah, like how could anyone possibly be skydiving and then have it like point to the floor and then to their face and then to the plane? And it's like
that's right. Yeah,
I never understood that. Around. Yeah,
huh.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really fun.
What are you? Are you still going to be doing more VR stuff, or is this? What's the next step for that? Because it looks like this is a skill that you got to use now. You built up this.
A little bit. I think I would never like throw the whole VR idea in the garbage. But I also think that I get really obsessed with things and then need a bit of a break for them. Like when I was doing these videos, I was working at a virtual reality lounge every day. I was just completely in this Ready Player One world. Ready Player One was basically my real life. Like I was just going to work, if there were no customers, just putting on the headset, playing video games.
Yeah.
And getting really obsessed with how people were making these games and making these experiences. And now that I'm not there every day anymore, I'm a little bit less just obsessed with the virtual world. I'm kind of more interested right now in exploring. I always want to be doing a new thing, basically, is what I'm saying. I always want to be doing different stuff. And, I would never junk my awesome camera. But I think it might be a while before I do another 360 video.
You did one called Technicolor as well.
Oh my God. I can't believe you. So this is a flat video. So sorry, but it is a flat one. That was a quarantine project directed by my boyfriend, Praj. He is a filmmaker. And during the first few months of quarantine, we were trapped together. So he finally had to cast me in something. So he wrote this script kind of thinking of like, what would I be good at playing, and wrote the thing around that. So I'm a very creepy AI in it.
Okay.
And I sing a musical theater song. So those are the two things I'm best at. So check out Technicolor on my website or Vimeo or wherever. Yeah.
And so the premise is you're a robot, but you sing.
Pretty much. Yeah. The premise of it is that there is an AI learning how to be like a phone operator. Like picture a 1950s phone operator. This is the now version of that. And she's watching these instructional videos on what to do and what to say. But there's an error with the videos she's watching, and it kind of glitches from here's what to do if you're a 911 emergency responder to here's a sweet video about like honestly kind of creepy like 1950s woman talking about her kitchen. So then the AI gets an emergency call, which is also me. It's me crying and screaming and things like there's someone in my house, I'm about to be killed, all that kind of stuff, which was really fun to record. Really fun to record the audio of that. I had to text my roommates being like, if you hear something, don't call the cops. It's cool. I'm in a film.
Yes.
But yeah, the AI gets the phone call, and right when she should be sort of moving on to the next step in the conversation of like getting maybe the human cops involved, she flips the switch to like a brand new sink, a built-in oven, a new refrigerator, and a phone, and just like is fully unable to help as we hear this woman on the other side of the phone have that moment of like, I think he's in the house. He's almost here. Oh my God. And then, silence. So, yeah.
I can totally see that where just a robot completely is the worst thing to help you out in a situation like that.
Totally, I think.
I knew a friend who actually worked for one of those emergency response centers.
What?
And he was, I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't want it, but someone would call and they're like have some serious emergency, and he's like, okay, he has to like try and prevent catastrophes from escalating, right? So to have an actual AI do that is it could happen someday. That could be a thing.
It would be great to not have to have humans do this. Like when people are in law enforcement or emergency situations, paramedics, it's traumatizing to do that job. So, it would be pretty cool if we could trust someone who doesn't have feelings or a family to come home to take care of those problems for us. Yeah.
And then they'll start singing about your advertising a toaster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. If things keep going in the direction they're going in, if this happened, it would totally be like, help me, I'm bleeding out. Would you like to purchase a coupon for pizza? Click yes to get help. Please enter your email, phone number, and social security number to receive a bandage.
Please confirm your identity. Your security answer was wrong. Sorry, we can't confirm you.
Yeah, we've all had that happen, right? Like when you're trying to talk to this is the bank. This is the bank robot that answers the phone. Please enter your security number.
Oh, yeah.
1111. Sorry, I didn't understand that. Can you please repeat?
I have this ongoing problem with my security questions for the bank, where there's one of the questions I actually don't know the answer to.
Oh my God.
So every time they try to confirm identity, at some point or another, the question comes up. And since I don't know the answer, I always get it wrong. So they always reject confirming who I am.
Oh, that sucks.
And I can't figure out what the answer is because they can't give you the answer.
Are you worried that if you say what the question is now, that maybe someone will listen to the podcast and figure it out?
No. Well, the question is, where was your social insurance number issued? And I actually don't know where it was issued.
Why would anyone know that? That's crazy.
I don't know. I know I was born, but I don't know where the security number is issued. It's because apparently it's not the place I was born. Because I've answered that. They're like, no.
That's nonsense. Wow. Yeah, that's a terrible question.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
Yeah. So I called the bank. I'm like, can you change the question? They're like, oh, call the credit agency. I called the credit agency and they're like, yeah, we don't do that. we don't give out the answer to that. You should know that.
Fuck me. How could anyone know that?
I don't know.
Wow.
You're
crazy.
supposed to know that somehow.
Nuh-uh, no way. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
I hate it when there are sites where the questions that they give you are predetermined. Like you can't make up your own question, you know? And they're all questions like, what's your favorite food, or things that are vulnerable to the passage of time, things that might change.
Okay.
I hate that when the only answers to questions are like, who's your best friend? Like when you open that account when you're 14, you think you know who that's going to be. And then you have to think back to okay, what year did I open this account in? Try to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. What's your favorite video game? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite book?
Hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be stuff that is not ever going to change, Like, I don't know, the hospital you were born in or something. That's not going to happen again. Yeah, but also maybe you don't know.
No, I don't know. I have no idea. Changing a little lanes here. Tell me about Twitch, because you've been doing some contests over Twitch, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So I just got a grant from the Canada Council for the Arts. Woo! Okay. Yes, it's my first ever grant, and now I'm addicted to grants.
How does this work? I've never gone through that process. What's grant? It's like.
You go to the website for Canada Council of the Arts, Ontario Council, Toronto Council, whatever, wherever you live, or Factor, whoever's there. You should be applying for grants. They would totally give you money. You're a great musician, and they care about that stuff.
Yeah.
And you say why they should give you money, and most of the time they don't give you any money, but sometimes they do. And then you have to do whatever you said you were going to do with that money, and then prove to them that you did it. So that's why I have to do this live stream project. And it's crazy. It's very trippy. So we got the Digital Originals grant, which started existing when COVID hit to balance out for the fact that no one's doing live shows anymore. And the point of the project is I'm going to be doing my full album using live loops. So all the songs have been rearranged. They're in a different order and stuff.
Okay.
Live vocals and whatnot. And my friend at Nikai Interactive, a kind of visual video game weird sort of art company, will be applying these live generated visuals over top of my video feed. So I'm going to look very trippy, spacey. And it's all going to happen live, produced by Talk Media and made possible by the Canada Council for the Arts. So yeah, we did our first run through of it a few weeks ago, and actually we shot too close to the frickin' sun again. I did not learn my lesson. Doing all this stuff live. We tried to stream to multiple platforms using Restream, and that was the thing that was just the computers can't handle it. And it ended up being pretty glitchy for most people watching, unless you were in South Korea, where the stream was apparently perfect because they have the best internet in the world. But if you had maybe the second best internet in the world, it was too glitchy for me to be happy about it. So we're going to do it again. Date TBD. We're going to do a couple more rehearsals to make sure that never happens again. Because if it does, I'm going to go freaking insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll let you know about it. I'll post about it. It'll be all over the internet. It'll be very clear when we're doing this again.
It seems like a lot of musicians are now going to Twitch to perform their concerts.
Yeah.
Have you done that yet? Yeah.
No,
because I don't really do a lot of live stuff. I'm usually the guy behind the scenes doing it. But
yeah.
Also, I suppose if I were singing, but I'm not really a singer, so it's a little different for me. But
you could do like a variety show, though.
I could do a DJ.
If you could figure it out. Yeah, that'd be cool.
In terms of like, what do you think about doing concerts over Twitch? Because that could be a mainstream in the next little while.
Well, I think it's a fun time, but I think everyone is sort of still finding their way with it a little bit. Like when COVID first hit, honestly, I think almost everyone's live streams sucked. Just like low quality, no production value, because that's of course how it has to be when it's just you by yourself with your phone. Like you have to be a really incredible musician to be able to pull that off with nothing helping you.
Yeah.
And let's be real, that's a pretty small minority of people, even of the very successful people, So that's why I'm doing this really weird project with all these visual layers, because I don't think anyone cares about just me in my living room, especially since for both of us, so much of our music is digital, right? And
yeah, for sure.
It's
all trippy visuals to make it's part of the song as well.
Yeah. I think that Twitch concerts are really great for people who are like performers first, maybe not songwriters first, but like the kind of people who can take requests and just pull it off. Like if you're the guy who was just at the piano at the bar every night and someone yells out, "Do Piano Man," and you're not sick of it and you do it, you're the perfect person to be doing these live streams to get that audience interaction.
Well, that's the nice part is that you can interact with the audience at the same time, which you can't do regularly. You can like, "Oh, you wanted that? Yeah. Here's my response. Cheeky comment insert here. Thanks for the money."
Yeah. It's sometimes so hard to strike that balance of how much power you want to give your audience, whether it's a live stream or immersive theater or like a game or whatever. It's a hard line to walk with how much control you want to give them, The other day I was on a friend's Instagram live show. And I thought it was going to be an interview kind of like this, but people started typing requests out in the chat for us to sing songs. And I just didn't know any of the songs that they typed. And I was like, like I would have done a lot of research on Maroon 5 if I'd known this was going to happen. And I just kind of wasn't ready for it. But if you are the kind of person who is really well versed in a ton of repertoire that people are likely to ask for and ready to just sort of whip it out, I think I'm more of a like planning person.
No, for sure. Maybe, I get that.
We want to get our shit right. And if you're more of a like fly by the seat of your pants person with a really good wealth of knowledge for what people are likely to ask, then I think that's the perfect person to be doing live streams all the time or like weekly ones. If you're an improv person, this is a great time.
I never really understood how someone can just, here's the song I want as a request, and they'll just start. Like, what? How do you know all the songs? That doesn't make it seems ridiculous, but some people are like that.
Yeah, totally.
Piano Man bar guy. How is that even possible?
I know, it's freaking amazing. Yeah. My dad does stuff like this all the time though. Like I'll mention a song and if he knows it, he'll just play it. Boom, right away. It's crazy. But yeah, it's like the repertoire knowledge that really blows my mind. Of like, me and my dad know all the same songs. So of course he's going to know how to play it. But the people that can take requests from any random person for just whatever's popular, that really amazes me. Like you must know hundreds of songs like a human jukebox.
Yeah.
To be able to get that done.
No, I never understood that. Speaking of doing things live, it looks like you do a lot of teaching over Zoom calls as well.
Yeah, yes, I do. It's been really fun. I hope I never have to teach in person again. I love teaching online.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You like it better?
It's not for everybody. I have been loving it. Have you been doing a lot of like Zoom meetings and digital things like this? Like when did you start doing this podcast?
Yeah, so this is a recent project. We just started in the last month. And so we've just been filling up people every few days. the podcast and bringing in. I think the general direction is a hobby podcast because it seems like
So cute.
Yeah, so different hobbies, people from different interesting careers, both for yeah, we have singers, you get musicians, film directors, artists. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's mostly what I enjoy listening to.
Yeah, totally. I love that. Like if you're a creative person, I feel like a big part of why you do what you do is because whatever you want to exist, no one else has done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, I guess I have to do it. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, what would go in terms of like the teaching though? I was always wondering what it's like teaching over Zoom in terms compared to teaching to real people though.
Well, there have been some challenges, but I think they've been challenges that play to my strengths. Like, you know, I'm not a great accompanist, but I'm an okay producer. So now all of my students sing to tracks. And if we can't find a track, I just make them one. You know, like I've recorded most of their warm-up accompaniments in advance. So they can just go into a Google Drive and I'll be like, okay, we're going to do our pop riff warm-up, go.
Nice.
And it's great. Audio quality is great. I have different speed settings. So like a beginner student can do level 1 of an exercise, whereas a more intermediate or advanced student can do like a higher level of the same exercise, things like that. So that's been pretty great. And yeah, I think it's really been playing to my strengths. I really like it. And honestly, it's also really nice both to not have to go anywhere and to not have to worry about like my background. Like we're on Zoom right now. I'm using a fake space background so you can't see my real apartment. Honestly, it's awesome to not have to have people physically in my actual real life apartment. You know, it's like I didn't realize I didn't like it until I was free of it, and now that I don't have to worry about it, it's just great. Like only 180 degrees of the apartment has to be presentable at any given time. So I love that.
Well, it seems like singing is something you can definitely teach online.
Yeah. I bet it's harder for instruments with like fingerings. Yeah, like I bet it probably sucks to be like a flute teacher or something.
Oh yeah, that would be awful.
Now. But I'm glad everyone's powering through, and online learning is the best. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually been taking math classes online with a woman in South Africa for quarantine. It's been great.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking a few months ago about how I kind of want to do a little bit of coding. And I've just been thinking about how to get the most possible money. I don't think I cared that much about it until I realized how fragile and unstable the whole world is when COVID hit. And now I'm kind of like, how can I just get a whole bunch of money? And I thought maybe computers could be the way. But here's the thing. I didn't do calculus in high school, so I have to do it now as a full-on adult finishing high school math. And I'm so dumb and I just don't get any of it. So I've hired someone to help me do my homework.
What kind of coding are you interested in now?
Well, I've been learning Python and Codecademy. It's been fun. And I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. As anyone who's just starting a new thing, I can't claim to have some kind of grand vision. But I have been doing a chatbot specialty thing. I'd love to make a Sappho bot that pops up whenever people go on my website who goes, help me, I'm stuck in the computer. Don't trust that thing walking around in my body. And maybe, I don't know, gives you fun facts or helps you buy a t-shirt or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And you do that kind of stuff too, right? You do all the nerdiest possible things, music production, all the computer things.
Yeah, I'm a nerd by trade.
Right?
That's kind of the plan. I mean, I am a coder by trade. I'm a developer. Yeah. So that's kind of they seem to feed into one another. You'd think that they'd be separate, but they all seem to be related once you start doing the second thing.
Yeah, that's totally another thing that's been inspiring me as well. Like a lot of my favorite musicians are secretly coders on the side. What?
Yeah, what is up with that? Most of the music producers I know are coders in the beginning.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really cool to see that kind of cohesive thing. Yeah,
somehow that goes together.
What are you developing? What's happening at work?
Yeah.
Stuff.
I find that coding is one of those strange things where you think that people, because when you pick up a book, then it's not the newest book. Let's say it's a 5-year-old book. You think this is the novel, this is the manual, and then you even learn that really well. And then suddenly you go and you have to build something. And they're like, oh no, you have to use this completely new thing that just came out now. And you're like, what? Yeah. All this studying stuff is now I have to learn something different. So it seems to be it's a project by project case where the coding comes in, less than just being an expert.
Yeah, totally. I think being a lifelong learner and committing to the thing of like always having to learn new software is probably a pretty important kind of personality aspect to have.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to power through learning all this new software for your whole life.
Parents don't get it at all. They're like, what are you doing? What is coding? I don't understand.
Oh, really? That's so weird because my dad's a coder. What do your parents do?
My father's an engineer. My mom's a teacher. But they were all before computers kind of took over the world. Yeah. So
what does your dad engineer? I feel like engineer is kind of vague and you could engineer a lot of things. So what?
He was like building bridges.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But it definitely wasn't involving coding in any form.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it is now. Maybe it's different now. If you were to go into the field from scratch.
For sure. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure if you're doing architecture or anything like that, you've got to at least learn how to use 3D modeling software and stuff.
Yeah, have you actually gotten into 3D modeling software? I've tried to be picking up Cinema 4D a little bit here and there, if you're familiar with that one.
Oh, that's so cool. I've half-assed Unity a little bit, but not that much. What have you been doing with your?
I'm a complete beginner in that, so I'm just trying to pick it up as I go along. I just discovered that Cinema 4D. Oh, for people who are interested in Cinema 4D, if you're a student, they give you like a 6-month free license if you're a student. So Cinema 4D is free for students, and then if you have After Effects, they give you like a version of Cinema 4D included as well, included with After Effects.
That's so cool.
So it's accessible for people.
And wait, what exactly do you do with the software? I don't know anything about 3D modeling. So
it's exactly what you said. It's 3D modeling. You make things, and then if you set time keyframes, you can move things around. And I think they made the movie Guardians of the Galaxy using Cinema 4D. So you could do whatever if you knew how. I don't know how yet, but I'm trying to pick it up as you go along. I thought the VR stuff you did with 3D modeling stuff, but it looks like it's VR software somehow different.
Well, maybe you could call it 3D modeling. Like the stuff I did with Tilt Brush doesn't require knowing how to do any 3D modeling stuff. You click and it draws it in the fucking sky. Like it's one of the most beautiful, therapeutic, user-friendly things in the whole world. So maybe you could say technically that I created a virtual thing in a 3-dimensional space using Tilt Brush, as anyone who's ever used Tilt Brush has done. Jimmy Kimmel has done it. I don't know if that counts. I couldn't say that I know anything about 3D modeling because the program is so user-friendly that you don't need to know anything to make something pretty cool with it. Yeah, it's awesome. Did you know? So I just got this awesome new job at this badass record label called The Gallery, and now I have to do a bunch of research for other artists to release their stuff. And last week, they gave me the task of finding TikTok influencers who fit the artists on the roster so that we can get the influencers use the songs and, really just Old Town Road fame these people.
So you're looking for what exactly?
Like TikTok, any TikTok influencers, mostly like cute girls who lip sync and stuff like that. But in my deep dive into TikTok, I discovered that there are a ton of accounts that have 3D models instead of humans doing dances to the songs. I put a lot of them on my list. Like there's this animated hot dog that's fucking great. What is this account called? I don't know. But it's just like a dancing animated hot dog that twerks to all the most popular songs in the world. And on one hand, I think it's fucking genius. Like I'm not a great dancer, so I would love to put a hot dog instead on my TikTok. And it's like a sexy hot dog too. So, that's great. If you're like, I'm not worried about age anymore because I could just animate like, I don't know, a fucking like a twerking Danish and have that be my persona maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are definitely using 3D modeling software to appeal to tweens and probably also furries, honestly. There are a lot of like cats and things.
Well, you look at the biggest animated videos on YouTube, and it's always like Mr. Bean, or it's like Pink Panther, or it's like some potentially kid-friendly show. But it's just some kind of animated thing, like Crazy Frog or whatever, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. This shit is just like Crazy Frog. I wonder if Crazy Frog is on TikTok. I'm going to find out right now.
Yes.
1 second. Intermission while I find frog.
I mean, why would that thing go away, right? That thing is immortal.
Oh yeah, Crazy Frog official. Crazy Frog is indeed on TikTok.
Oh my goodness.
They only have like 4,000 followers though, which I think for TikTok, terrible.
I actually don't know too much about TikTok. Can you introduce me to TikTok? I don't really know what the benefit is of it over, I don't know, YouTube or Vine or Twitch.
It's like Vine. It's the new Vine. You get a lot of dancers and comedians on there. I think the main thing of it is that you can use music to make a cute little kind of music video thing. Most of the videos are 15 seconds long or something around that. So you get a lot of Vine style comedians just being silly and having a short video with a fun twist in it. And you also get a lot of people lip syncing or dancing to whatever the most popular songs are. Is
it monetized like Twitch where people just, here's money?
I don't know. I'm not sure how people make money on TikTok. I think if you're a really famous influencer, brands will pay you to promote their product.
Okay.
Yeah, just like pay you directly. But I don't think you get money for streams like you can on YouTube. But I'm not sure. I actually have a TikTok account. And here's the thing. When I first started it, which was like a couple of years ago when it was just starting to happen, I had this awesome video from work at the VR Lounge where a robot company had been doing a Christmas pop-up. So it's just a video of a Hatsune Miku song with a robot with a screen on its face, and the screen looks like a cat. And it's just every few seconds I pan to a different robot as this really popular song plays. And it got hundreds of thousands of views. It got super popular. And now I know I'll never reach those heights again. So I don't know what to do with my TikTok because I don't have access to robots anymore. So I have no idea what to do.
Gotta have like
but
a
you know what you
show.
should do? Animate a fucking cat. You should totally be animating a cat just like all your album art to dance to your dance songs.
Yeah, actually, that is kind of the goal of the Cinema 40 is to figure that out. I haven't figured it out yet, but that is the underlying. Gonna have a dancing, gangster guitar playing kitty cat.
That's fucking awesome! Wow, I love that. Yeah,
I like the idea of like that VR thing too. Maybe throw in some time travel.
Yeah. You know what else I think you'd love? There's this VR, I guess, game. I guess it's a game or creative place called Mind Show. And you can sort of put on a body, any body, like a skeleton or an alien or like whatever, and record a little skit or a music video with it. And you can do all the parts. Like you take a moment to film the alien part, and then you take another moment to like film the space captain part and have a little conversation. In It's so fun to be able to puppet the to puppet the 3D model with your own hands. It's awesome.
So when you move the pirate face moves and it like all the expressions mimic your own.
Oh, the cool thing about the expressions is so ain't nobody got the monies to have a thing that like maps out your whole face, right? It's just a normal headset with normal controllers, but you can control the facial expressions using the trackpad on the controller. So with your thumb, you're like moving from happy to sad, just like a joystick kind of thing.
Okay.
Change the face. But the microphone can pick up when your mouth is moving. So it can kind of guess with these sort of visemes what vowel you're making. So it looks like the character. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Is it easy to like stick the thing into like another video so you could just have your room and then you'll stick your pirate thing in there? Is that easy to do?
I wouldn't say it's easy. I'd say it's possible though. Oh, that reminds me of another thing that I'm working on. I haven't told anyone about it. It's a big old secret. But I'm comfortable telling this audience about it because we're talking about all the nerdiest shit right now. I think anyone who's still listening now is going to get this and be into it. So I've been working with some friends who are starting this AR company, and the point of their company is that they have an augmented reality app where if you're a musician or a comedian, maybe or a dancer, like the same kind of people who do well on TikTok, they film you but with depth, with like a depth kit thing. And you do a song and then that gets into the app and the listener or viewer downloads it. They point it at their own living room and then you appear doing your song or your dance or whatever in their living room.
Whoa.
So, yeah. So for me, it's a promotional tool. Like, no, I'm not going to be telling anyone about it yet, because the point of it for me isn't necessarily to promote the app. It's to promote my songs through the app.
Sure.
So wait till my next release. And that's when it's really going to get kicking off with the AR stuff.
Make sure you send a link and then I can share it as well.
Oh, definitely. Actually, yeah, I'll connect you with these dudes. Maybe it would be a good fit. That would be fun. If you want to like do that kind of stuff to promote your album, but it does require being there and physically showing up to their office to film it.
Okay.
That's the only catch, is that you do have to go somewhere, even though it's still Rona times. You do have to go outside. But only once.
The building?
Yeah, but only one time.
I don't think anyone's left their building in 6 months. Just Amazon. That's it. You just get mail and groceries from Uber. Totally. And then you take out the trash and you just pretend the world didn't exist.
Yeah. And how have you been feeling about that? I think a lot of people have been affected negatively in a mental health way by being cooped up inside, but I've been fucking loving it. So how have you been doing with it?
Well, the strange thing is that the nerds, me, we seem to fare a lot better because, I mean, all of our hobbies and interests are kind of done in the same room anyways, right?
Yeah, totally. I was doing this anyway, but now I'm doing it unapologetically, and there's no guilt. There's no social obligation of like, oh, I'm not going out. Oh, no.
No.
It's awesome. Feels fucking great.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. I do like the idea of being a social butterfly, but on the other hand, that's kind of, there are other ways to be social butterflies like this, what we're doing right here.
Totally.
This is like an alternative, which may be more popular. Maybe everyone's going to start doing this.
Honestly, yeah. This pertains to my interests significantly more than like going out dancing or something. And you know, we've known each other for a long time, but we've never met in person. Isn't that crazy? I think it's awesome.
It's been a few years now, right?
Yeah, this is, I love this world. This is so cool that you can have real friendships and real relationships without having to like expose yourself to the dangers of a virus or waste time on the bus or do any of this real life stuff.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Awesome.
Well, it looks like we're almost at an hour, but is there anything you want to promote that's coming out in the next little while, or you want to talk about a little more about your album? That's the Time Machine album.
Well, I'm not ready to announce any dates of anything new coming up. Of course, there's always lots of stuff in the works, but I don't have a specific time that I'm looking to promote. So I would just say everybody follow me on social media, and that's how you'll find out when I do have things to announce. Or go to sapphosvoice.com, SAPPHOSVOICE.com, and sign up for my mailing list. I don't send out newsletters a lot. I only do it if I have something really cool going on. And anyone who signs up for my mailing list is going to be the first to find out whenever I'm doing something crazy. So sign up for that and you'll be the first to know when I've got something crazy going on. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or cover?
I think we've got the main gist. Make sure everyone check out sapphovoice.com. Yeah. And she's got albums, she's got music videos, she's got teaching for vocals. You can check those out. You're going to see new concerts that she's got coming. Definitely check that out.
Okay. And also check out Chester's album if you haven't already. I assume you have because you're listening to this podcast. But if you haven't, listen to the whole thing. It's dance-tacular. So, yay!
Thanks a bunch. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
It's going to call this episode a wrap.